It's the last day of 2022, and I've decided to make a little video about my Craftsman Dunlop 109 model lathe that I picked up just before the holidays. Drove down to Georgia from Maryland to pick it up because I was just excited to have a mini metal cutting lathe. I landed on this versus a new Chinese lathe because these have quite a following. They have the ability to cut threads, which I'm not sure the Chinese ones in the same price range do. I did not get all the change gears to be able to cut every pitch thread, but I have ordered a set of very good condition change gears, and it should be on the way. I will be using those for what I plan to be my next project for this lathe. When I first got it, it was set up for high speed. It had this pin pulled out, and let's see if we can see it, and this Allen screw pushed in. That makes the belt direct drive the spindle. But with this pushed in and this Allen key here pulled out, that actually engages a planetary. So as you can see here, it is not direct drive. That spindle is moving slower than the belt. So let's see. What else? After I got it, now I knew this going in. This is one thing folks complain about is the spindles are very weak. They are half inch, I think 16 pitch thread. No, maybe half 20. Let's see, I got a half inch nut here somewhere. I think it's half 20. A lot of this stuff down here are extras that actually came with it that the previous owner gave to me. Well, anyway, not only is it small diameter, but it's hollow to pretty deep down in there, which makes it basically like a piece of spaghetti. Very delicate. So there is somebody oh, and also the chuck it comes with, I upgraded the chuck. The chuck it comes with is a 4-jaw independent chuck, so it takes a lot of setup every time you chuck something up. You gotta keep spinning it and checking with the dial indicator to make sure you have it centered. So I upgraded the shaft to a 4140 shaft. That there's a seller out of Kansas on eBay that makes those shafts as well as new bushings and some other 109 accessories. And the shaft is upgraded in not only the material, but it's also solid. It's not hollow. And I opted for the 3/4 16 pitch threads so I could get this Shoreline out of California self-centering 3-jaw chuck. So let's see, those are the upgrades I've done to it. This is my first real project aside from facing the new spindle. Oh, also the 3/4 16 threads that come on the new spindle from that eBay seller are just a little bit too long for the Shoreline chuck, where it actually interferes with the back of the jaws. I originally got a nicely machined spacer. I forget the name of the company, but they're out of California as well, to space the chuck up so there wasn't that interference with the threads. Well, once this is a very tight ID diameter on the threads, but the threads don't go all the way back to the face of the spindle for machining purposes. So once this is past the threads, it actually has some give, or it's not perfectly centered. And I got sick and tired of watching this wobble, being unsure. Oh no, is my spindle bent, or is it just that spacer wobbling around because it's not centered? So I decided to actually lathe back the threaded nose of the spindle so it doesn't interfere with the shoreline jaws even without the spacer. So that's the first real project I did. This is now the second real project. The first that doesn't have to do with the lathe itself, and this has to do with my reloading press. Actually, let me go over here. So I got a Hornady Lock-N-Load in 2008, and apparently shortly after I got it, they upgraded the design with what they call the EZ-ject, and the eject feature on that press was always a pain in the butt, and apparently this is a lot better. And all the new plates have this groove in the bottom of the turret. My original 4570 and 4590 plate does not have that groove. It's the old style. So that's what I'm doing right now, is machining the groove into my 4590 plate, because I got an EZ-ject conversion kit, which was actually pretty hard to get. Apparently back in 2009 or whenever they came up with this, everybody upgraded theirs, and I guess they only made a limited amount, but I was actually able to get this for the price it was back then. There was a website that I don't think has updated their price since then, and I'm actually surprised that it actually arrived at that price. But anyway, so I started machining the groove. I first did it with this Armstrong tool steel, and quickly learned that I guess these turrets are made out of stainless, and all it did was make this thing turn blue and started grinding down. It didn't put a scratch in this. So actually I went to Harbor Freight yesterday for something different, which will end up this has to do with the third intended project for this lathe, where I want to make adapters for the original 1/2 inch 20 thread to go to 3/4 16 using this 1 3/8 bar stock. And I was there to get this this Harbor Freight metal cutting bandsaw to make it easier to cut that solid rod. But anyway, I saw that they had carbide bits. I'd actually, the night before, ordered a set off of Amazon, pretty much the same thing but comes in a different package. But I was paying $10 more, and there I was at Harbor Freight, and I could save $10 and get instant gratification. So I canceled my Amazon order and picked these up. Got home yesterday evening, started to try one out, and it cut like a hot knife through butter through this stainless, so it works perfectly. I've got most of the way. Now the only part left is now I got to come back this way and cut this inside face, and that's all that's left. Let me make sure the shoreline chuck is tight. Yep, okay, that's tight. Make sure there's oil in here. Okay, and let me talk about my centering setup. It just so happens the OD of the tailstock Morse taper 0, the OD of that's 1/2 inch, and I have this 1/2 inch ID bronze, and this is 1/2 inch threaded rod, and So I just slipped that over that nose with some grease. I don't have a steady rest for this, but I do want to get one. But try not to spend money, and this is a perfect solution I found. Also, speaking of the tailstock, I found I had to shim it to get it perfect. There's a hardware store, Young's Hardware, by me that has a K&S metals rack, and they had this shim stock. It comes with a thou, 2 thou, 3 thou, and 5 thou brass sheets, and I got a bunch of those. I thought it that K&S metals rack at that hardware store, I don't know if you can tell, I got a whole bunch of stuff here. Also, I put brass gibs on the cross slide here. I don't think I've done the compound yet, but I plan to. But yeah, anything else? No, I think that's it. All right, so I'm gonna finish this up, and I'll do it on the video. Also, I put this power twist belt on here to quiet this thing down. As you can see, these Lock-N-Load turrets aren't perfectly centered in there. They don't need to be. All this groove needs to do is clear the EZ-ject nub, I think it is, on that new shell plate for the reloading press. Spindle is true, so that's important. And also, this poor man's steady rest isn't perfectly, well, actually it is pretty good right now. And then all this groove needs to do is clear a little nub on that conversion plate for the reloading press. I'm going slow here, maybe I should be going faster, I don't know, I'm not a trained machinist. From what I hear, no trained machinist would ever get one of these Craftsman 109s for the weak spindle issue I brought up, but this 4140 solid spindle seems to be holding up. So what I'm watching is just the change in color on the opposite side of this turret. I'm going to turn it off for a second to see how much further we have to go. We got quite a bit. Yeah, this last little bit, because it's angled, is going to take the longest, because the further out it gets, the bigger a bite it's taking. So I'm going to go real slow here. Yeah, that chopper noise is because these shell plates obviously have 5 openings in them for the 5 reloading press positions. Trying not to chip off the tip of my carbide, so I'm going real slow. see how much further I have to go. I am pretty much there. So something, so I have another shell plate backing this one to increase the rigidity. I also have the jaws flipped around on the Shoreline chuck to further increase rigidity for this. But one benefit of having that other shell plate back there is I just have, because it has that groove, I have a visual reference without needing to measure how far out I gotta cut. So looks like I'm pretty much there. I'm just gonna go a little bit further out. So, I don't know if you caught that, but that was a little bit too big of a bite, and I saw the shell plate start to slip there. I think with this, I am done. Okay, I'm just gonna go a little bit further. Okay, I think that'll do it. All right, so let's see. I got the gibs on the cross slide kind of tight, so okay, there we go. All right, now I think the easiest way to do this is to loosen up the tailstock. Okay, let me probably also help if I loosen. Oh yeah, that's loose already. There we go. Alright, let's take a look at these. Oh, helps if I hook that in. Okay. Yeah, I also got some spare parts for the press. Let me open this up and see if I can test fit this. Let me just wipe that. There we go. Look at that. This is good. And all this stuff is made in the USA. Surprisingly, conversion hardware. know if anybody would be interested in a video of the conversion itself, but that is the nub it needs to clear. Unless it's just eyeballing, but okay, hold on. Let me just check this versus factory grooved plate. Oh, there's ball bearings. There's ball bearings for the detent. Yep, that clears. Yep, that should be more than enough. Okay, well, actually trying it out on the press will really tell me. But here's the conversion plate. It's made out of a iron or steel casting. Pretty impressive for. I got this conversion kit for $40 when actual retail on it now is $129, and this is brand new. I wonder if there's a manufacturer date on here. 10/12/22. I think that's December 10th, 2022, which would be the day I ordered this. This was pretty much built to order, so I guess they are still making them. Surprised. I don't think the outfit I bought this from made money on it. Okay. Well. Oh shoot! I was potato camming that whole time. This is the end of the video.